The creepy reason time speeds up as you get older. Let's get right into it. The memory vacuum. You've probably heard some variation of this before. The older you get, the faster time flies. It's not just a cliché that your grandparents mutter over a cup of decaf. There's a genuine psychological principle at play. It all boils down to the fact that our perception of time is intrinsically linked to our memories. When you're a kid, every day is a new saga. Your summer vacation felt like a lifetime because you were constantly doing new things, experiencing the world for the first time, and forming novel memories. Your brain, the ultimate data hoarder, was logging all of it. A trip to the beach? New memories. Learning to ride a bike? New memories. The first time you tasted a lemon? So many memories. You can look back at a year and see a clear sequence of memorable, discrete moments. Oh yeah, that was the year we went to Disney World in the summer. And I broke my arm right before Christmas. The density of these memories gives the impression of a long, expansive period of time. But as you age, the number of firsts dwindles. Life becomes a well-worn path. You've been to the grocery store 1,000 times. You've had the same conversations with the same people. When you look back on a year now, your brain doesn't have a highlight reel of unique moments. It has a highlight reel of last year's highlight reel. A sort of cognitive recursion. Our brain gauges the passage of time not just by a clock, but by the number of new, unique experiences it processes. The lack of new, novel memories to anchor your perception of time makes the recent past feel compressed and short. As we get older, our lives tend to become a series of predictable loops. Wake up, commute, work, eat, sleep, repeat. This repetition is a brain saver, a cognitive shortcut, but it also means there are fewer novel memories to latch onto. Without those mental checkpoints, the days blur together into one indistinguishable blob of routine. So when you're asked to recall the last decade, it feels like a blur because your brain simply doesn't have enough unique data points to stretch it out. The relative time illusion. This one's a little more intuitive, but it's a foundational piece of the puzzle. Think about a single year of your life. When you were 5 years old, 1 year was a monumental 20% of your entire existence. That's a huge, significant chunk of your life history. Every single day was a big deal. When you're 50, 1 year is a comparatively minuscule 2% of your life. It's an almost insignificant blip in the grand timeline. Your brain does a sort of unconscious mathematical calculation here. The perceived length of a new unit of time, be it a day, a week, or a year, is relative to the total length of time you've already experienced. This is the proportionality hypothesis, a slightly more scientific way of saying that as you get older, each new year becomes a smaller and smaller fraction of your total lifespan. Imagine it like this. You have a long, winding road that represents your life. When you're 5, the first mile feels endless because you haven't traveled much of the road. But by the time you're 50, you've traveled so much of it that a single new mile feels like nothing more than a tiny bump in the road. This isn't just some philosophical musing, it's an actual, observable cognitive phenomenon. Your brain is a proportional calculator. It can't help but measure new experiences against the backdrop of old ones. So, it's not that the clock is speeding up, it's that your mental ruler is getting longer. And each new unit you're measuring just keeps getting smaller and smaller in comparison. The final countdown. This entire phenomenon, the time is speeding up illusion, is not a sign of some cosmic acceleration. It's a subtle, almost unnoticeable consequence of a mind that is becoming more efficient, more reliant on routine, and less stimulated by the world around it. You've become a master of your domain, but in doing so, you've accidentally put yourself on the mental equivalent of cruise control. The solution, if there is one, isn't to buy a faster watch. It's to actively seek out novelty, to be present, to force your brain to get off its lazy duff and start paying attention again. Take a new route to work, learn a new skill, talk to a stranger, or, heck, try to remember a memory from when you were 7 years old. Don't just let time happen to you. Force your brain to keep a detailed, colorful log of your existence. You're the director of your own life's movie. And it's time to start adding some new scenes instead of just endlessly re-watching the blooper reel. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.